Hello, viewers. My name is Jason Timothy Robinson, and welcome to my show, MAO Chat, Season 1, Episode 3. The reason I started the podcast is so that Miss America volunteers and fans can get to know title holders, and title holders can speak about their platforms and initiatives. My first guest, or my guest today, is Payton May, Miss America's Outstanding Teen 2020. Payton is 18 years old. She's a senior at Skyview High School. Her platform is Your Voice Matters, educating the voters of tomorrow. Her scholastic ambition is to obtain a dual degree in political science and journalism and to work toward becoming a member of Congress. Welcome to our show, Miss America's Outstanding Teen 2020, Payton May. Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
I am
Hi.
so excited to have you. I'm so
Oh,
honored to have you.
really?
So, you were interested in becoming a member of Congress. How did you get interested in politics?
My mom worked on a former governor's campaign in Washington when I was younger, and I was quite young when that happened because it's our previous governor now. But she was her public relations manager, and ended up becoming the governor. She was at our house a lot. I met
Hmm.
her a lot of times, and she was just someone that was really inspirational to me. I really looked up to her because she was technically the second woman governor in Washington. So,
Cool.
of course, when you see a woman holding political office, that's always something
Right.
that's really inspirational. So, after meeting with her and just kind of having her in my life to begin with,
Hmm.
I think I grew up being involved in politics and, having an interest in it. And then when I got a little bit older, I realized that it was something that I really had a passion for and that I
Hmm.
want to pursue as a career in the future.
Right. So, how did you first get involved in pageants?
So let's see. I am originally from Seattle, Washington.
Okay.
And my sophomore year of high school, I moved up to Vancouver, which is about a 3 hour drive. And I didn't know anybody in my new school, literally did not know a single soul.
Okay.
And in my biology class, I sat down next to a girl and we became quick friends. And she told me that she competed in pageants
Hmm.
and she had a rehearsal for a local pageant that weekend. And she told me to come with her. And I
Okay.
was like, no, I don't do pageants. Like that's not, I've
Right.
never done one of those. And she's like, no, like it'll be super fun. It's like 2 hours long. Just come and like hang out with me.
Hmm.
And I came, and the local director, asked me, she's like, well, do you have a talent? Like, do you want to compete? And I was like, well, I know how to sing. And she's like,
Okay.
perfect. Like, you're in. So
Oh,
yeah. And I competed in that pageant and I won. And
wow.
yeah, and the rest is history. So, and that was over, I guess that'd be 2 years ago now. So,
Cool.
not that long ago.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
So, after winning your state title, Miss Washington's Outstanding Teen, what did you do to prepare for the national competition?
So I didn't have a ton of time. I know a lot of girls are crowned a lot later than I was. I was crowned at the end of May, but
Okay.
I was still in school, especially on the West Coast. We don't get out of school until mid June, like late June.
Right.
So I was trying to prepare while still being in school. So I was going to the gym every day, or at least trying to.
Hmm.
I was working with my singing teacher a lot on my song and just trying to like get my performance down.
Okay.
I did a lot of mock interviews with my local director.
Hmm.
She has been a huge support through all of this. So my local director set up a lot of mock interviews. And my, of course, state director set up mock interviews for me as well. I actually got to do a mock interview with two former Miss Americas before I went
Cool.
to nationals. Yeah,
Nice.
it was very cool. So that's mostly what I did to prepare. But probably I did the most interview and like on stage question prep because it's
Right.
kind of my favorite. So I wanted to make sure I really nailed that down when I went to nationals.
Right. And you won evening gown and on stage question. We have the video. Otis, can you get the video ready? I love the dress you wore. When you had, it was like green up here with some jewels and then white at the bottom. So how did you pick out that dress?
So gosh, I honestly, it's such a weird story because I had that I wore for competition, but it was a really dark color and I loved it, but it just didn't highlight me. It was like a really deep plum color.
Mm-hmm.
And I only had like 2 weeks to get my dress finalized, because you do have to get
Oh,
your paperwork in and everything done really quickly. And
yeah.
I was like, oh my gosh, I don't have a dress. And especially in Washington, we don't have any dress stores really. So
Right.
I found a dress online and at a dress store, and I was like, this looks really nice. I texted someone that I knew that worked at the store, and I asked him to send me a video of the dress, like in person. And so I like
Right.
showed it to my mom. Like, I think this is it. So I had never
My
even tried to
goodness.
get it on. Yeah, and it got house, and I was like, this is perfect. I love it.
So it all came together. Your interview prep and your dress came together. Is the video
It
ready
did.
for her? All right. Here's your evening gown and on stage question competition at Miss America's Outstanding Teen.
Next up, Washington's outstanding teen, Payton May. Good evening, Payton. Payton, what one change would you make to the American education system?
One change I would make is making more educational classes that prepare us for the real world. One of the classes in my high school is actually called Financial Algebra, which teaches us how to do taxes and how to do our mortgages, which I think is such an essential skill, especially as we get older. I feel like as teenagers, we're kind of thrown into the real world and expected just to know how to do all of these things. So actual classes that teach us practical life skills would be phenomenal and should be implemented into our educational system.
Thank you.
Excellent. I love your response to that question. And it made me think about when I was in college. I went to the University of Michigan. And when I first went to buy books, I had a checkbook and I didn't even know how to write a check. And so I had to like ask somebody in the store, how do you write a check? But that was a good answer. So your platform is Your Vote, Your Voice Matters, Educating the Voters of Tomorrow. I think that's amazing because I believe in our last election, presidential election, something like 40% of people did not vote. So how do you think we can encourage people to get registered and vote?
So my platform specifically targets the youth population in
Okay.
our demographic, especially because we are the largest voter demographic, yet
Right.
we have the least amount of turnout at the polls, which is
Mhm.
awful, in my opinion. And I really kind of discovered that was even a problem when I got into my upperclassmen classes at my high school,
Mhm.
because it was about last year, and I think we were talking about this upcoming presidential election, everything like that. And my teacher asked everyone in the class if they were registered to vote or if they were voting. Like, it was like one of our intro activities.
Right.
And there was only one kid in the class who raised their hands, and they were pretty much all seniors. So,
Uh,
these are kids that have the ability to register to vote, and none of them were registered, which was super alarming to me because, my mom worked on a political campaign. So it's kind of second nature for us to be registered
right.
and participate. And so I didn't realize that kids didn't have that kind of
Right.
idea
Motivation.
in
Yeah.
their household.
Hmm.
And so I developed that platform this year, and I was really, really excited to get the opportunity to be Miss America's Outstanding Teen in such a pivotal year.
Right.
Because I think more than ever, when I talk to kids and I go into schools, it really hits home with them and it resonates with them because, if we're in an off year, there's
Right.
not as much to care about. They're like, it's not a big deal. I don't need to vote. Literally this year, when I talk to kids, I'm like, you are nominating the next president. That's a huge,
Right.
you know?
Right.
And so that's what's been super awesome. I think it was kind of serendipitous how I won this year in
Yeah.
such a year that's like so relevant with my platform.
Hmm.
And
Amazing.
I thank you. I really try to tell kids that as well, that, my whole platform is your voice matters, your vote matters,
Hmm.
and your vote is your voice, especially in our democracy. If you
Right.
don't vote, you don't have a say in what goes on in our country.
Hmm.
And especially, I always tell kids this, especially on the local and the state level, your vote really, really matters. I mean,
Right.
every time that we count, every time that there's a re-election, I mean, it's so pivotal that kids understand you have the potential to change history.
Right.
We had an election, a local election, in Hoquiam, I think a month ago, and the new politician was elected by one vote.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. And so I know that's a smaller local election, but I try to tell kids those stories and those anecdotes that like you have the potential to change our country, you know?
Mhm.
And for a lot of kids that hits home, especially if you talk about certain issues, I like to ask kids, you know, what are you passionate about? What matters to you?
Right.
Because if you really find that one thing that a kid is interested in
Mhm.
and you tell them you have the potential to do something about this issue that you care so passionately about,
Mhm.
that'll usually get them interested and kind of get them hooked about, you know, what can I constituent as a citizen? What is my vote doing in our country?
I think that that message is amazing, and I think that not only teens can benefit from that message, but I think adults can as well. And I
Yeah.
almost wish schools would, I guess, have a class, you know, like some kind of motivation class, or just something that teaches kids to, you know, get out there and do that, because like you said, that the young people, you know, your voices matter, and you guys are such a large group.
Yeah.
So it's been 9 months since you were crowned Miss America's Outstanding Teen. Cue the
Has it
video.
really?
I want to watch that crowning moment. But how did you feel? Like, think back to 9 months ago when you were standing there with Miss Arizona's Outstanding Teen. What was going through your head? How did you feel in that moment?
I'm being honest, I literally do not remember. I have no idea. The one thing that's super odd is I watched the video of me winning and
Uh-huh.
I'm like violently shaking Caitlin. Like I'm like shaking her and I'm talking to her. And my
Yeah.
mom asked me, like, what were you saying to her? I was like, I have no idea. No idea what I was saying. My guess is it was probably something like motivational. Like I have no idea,
Yeah.
right? Like, you know, in that moment you're so nervous.
Yeah.
And I talk fast when I'm nervous, and I think the adrenaline just got to me. One of the things I do remember though is
Mhm.
I have this weird like inkling where sometimes, you know, the phrase like you're in the right place at the right time, and like
Yeah.
kind of meant to be in a
Right.
weird way. When I was standing there, it's not like I knew I was gonna win, because I don't think
Uh-huh.
you ever know that. But like in my heart, a part of me was like, this is just like whatever happens, it's gonna be the right outcome for you.
Wow.
And it's gonna
Okay.
be what's meant to happen. So I don't know. Like that's one of the things that I just remember. Like I knew I wasn't gonna be devastated if I didn't win. But part of
Okay.
me, like the outcome was gonna be what was meant for me.
That's an amazing outlook to have. That's excellent. All right,
Yeah.
let's watch the video of Peyton's crowning moment.
Miss America's Outstanding Teen, a first runner-up is Miss Arizona Caitlin Kay, which means the new Miss America's Outstanding Teen is Washington Payton May.
That's the power of our dreams. Can you feel it? Can you feel it? That's the power of our dreams. Can you feel it? Can you feel it? I was born down by the railroad tracks. No fancy clothes to put on my back. Couldn't imagine what I was going to be. I just couldn't see it. But my mama told me, boy, there's a God above. He's watching over you. Keep your eyes above.
I know your parents must be so proud. They probably just gave you a humongous hug when they saw you, when you were able to see you again. Do you
Yeah.
have any siblings, brothers, sisters?
So I have a half sister and a half brother. I'm
Mhm.
actually at my sister's house right now. I'm in
Okay.
their guest bedroom. But yeah, they are quite a bit older than me. They're in their 30s.
Okay.
I mean, my whole family is so incredibly supportive of me. So
Mhm.
I, of course, only live with my mom and my dad, but I'm at my sister's and my brother's like all the time. I see them a
Cool.
ton. And I love to babysit their kids. I mean, they're rascals, but
Aw.
they're fun. So yeah, they're a great support system. And like my sister and my niece were actually in Florida when I was crowned.
Cool.
So very cool.
Excellent. So, what has been one of your most memorable experiences as Miss America's Outstanding Teen?
The first one that comes to mind is probably performing at Miss America.
Oh,
That was just one of, I don't know, it's like one, it's really cool to tell people, like it's kind of like a fun, like, yeah, I performed on the Miss America stage.
right. Yeah.
But also I just love performing and I love to sing, and that's part of the reason I got involved in this program. So
Mhm.
every time I have an opportunity to do that and to share music with people, it's so incredible. So one, getting to do that, and then that whole week was super fun because I got to reconnect with all of my MAO teen sisters that I met
Right.
at nationals. So reforming those connections again and being able to talk to them in person, it was just
Mhm.
so much fun. And in that video, I have a video of me performing that
Okay.
song, and you can hear the girls, like they were all in a collective section. You can hear them screaming, like them singing, which is
Right.
just like, it was so fun.
Do you think you'll compete in the Miss category one day?
I don't know.
Okay.
I'm undecided because I was telling my dad this. So I'm Miss America's Outstanding Teen, right?
Right.
I
Mhm.
was like, really the only way to go up is to win Miss America.
Right.
And then if I don't, it's like like I want to end it on like a bang, So that's my logic.
Cool. So I want everybody who's watching this to get to know Payton a little bit. So what do you do for fun?
Let's see. So I talked about singing. I love to sing. I've been singing since I could talk pretty much.
Okay.
And I love watching musicals. That was one of my fun facts when I competed
Cool.
at nationals. I don't even know. I've at least seen over 100 musicals in person.
Oh,
But
wow.
most of the time at home, you'll either find me singing like
Mhm.
musical theater songs or watching musicals online. I'm also a huge book nerd, so I love to read.
Cool.
And this is kind of a weird fun fact. My favorite book genre to read is horror.
Oh,
So I
okay.
really love Stephen King
Oh.
books.
Well, you just answered one of my questions because I want to play Payton's favorite things. So what is your favorite food?
Oh man. I always say tacos because I feel like they're really versatile.
Okay.
You can put so many things in tacos,
Right.
You know.
Cool. What is your favorite color?
Hot pink.
Nice. What is your favorite TV show?
I really like The Office, which is so cliche.
Yes, I love it. I love it. It is so funny.
4 times. It is. It's so it's great. I love it. And then I'm also watching All American right now,
Okay.
which you probably have no idea what that is. But
No.
for all of the teenage girls who are watching this, they 100% know what I'm talking about. It's like a football series TV show on Netflix.
Okay. hmm
Very
What
good.
is your favorite subject in school?
I love, love, love English.
Yes, I'm an English teacher. I went to
Oh
the
my
University of Michigan and majored in English. So
I
I'm an
love
English
that.
teacher.
Wow.
Yeah. So speaking about school, you're a senior this year. How have you been handling what we're going through? Will you have a graduation this year?
If I'm being honest, I haven't handled it all too well.
Okay.
It was I think it was really sad for all of us because my last day of school in high school forever is March 13th, and we
Oh,
didn't know it at the time,
yeah.
and so yeah, I'm not going back. Our governor put out that notice that no schools in Washington are going back for the year.
hmm
And as of right now, I know they're trying to plan like a prom and a graduation and all those
Right.
things for us. As of right now, nothing is set,
Yeah.
but I know that they want to hold a physical graduation, whether
Mhm.
that's next fall or this summer.
Wow. Right.
I still want that kind of closure,
Yeah.
I think none of us ever really thought of that, it's like, oh, high school graduation is just something that happens.
Right.
And then once we realized it wasn't happening, all of us were like, oh my gosh, like, wait, we don't want to go to college yet. Like, we haven't finished.
Right.
So, yeah.
So there's many teens out there who would love to be Miss America's Outstanding Teen. What advice would you give them for making that dream come true?
I always tell girls the same thing, to be your authentic self, which I know girls probably hear all the time, right? Like, everyone's always telling you, be your authentic self. But I think it's really hard for sometimes girls to kind of like internalize. I know the first year I competed, you see other girls, right, that are really good or who have won in the past, and you think, I need to act like her, or I need to dress like her, or I need to, you mold yourself and you shape yourself to what you think the judges want or what it from you. And I always try to tell girls, that's just the worst thing you can do, because if you're not going to win as your authentic self, then that's really no point.
Right.
So especially when I competed this year, I mean, I fell into the trap of like, I don't look like this girl, or I don't sing as well as this girl, or, like all these silly things, right? That we all have in our mind. And I told myself, I'm not going to listen to those things. I'm going to wear what I want to wear. I'm going to sing what I want to sing, and I'm going to be myself. And if the judges don't like that, that's fine. But at least I know that I did my best. And then what I tell girls is like, most of the time, if you are your authentic self, it'll work out for you.
Exactly. Amazing. That's an amazing outlook to have. So what is next for you? I know we're going through a difficult time right now, but what is next after you crown the next Miss America's Outstanding Teen? What will you do in your future? What are your plans?
Yeah, so next fall, I will be attending the University of San Diego.
Wow, cool.
Yeah. And I'm super excited. I love California, and I talked about this earlier, that like I love the sun, and I just do not get enough sun here in Washington. So heading to San Diego, I'm living near the beach, and I've already talked to girls. Like, I've been trying to find roommates, and they're like, we'll teach you how to surf. Don't worry about it. Like, you'll be right at home really quickly. So I'm super excited. I'm going to study political science and international relations on the pre-law track, because after undergrad, I want to go to graduate school, law school. So those are my plans next year.
Cool. Well, I thank you for your time. It was such a pleasure to talk to you. It was an honor to have you on my show, and I look forward to just amazing things. I wish you the best of luck in the future in California and with everything that's going on with you. Thanks a lot. Such a pleasure to talk to you. Bye, Payton.
Thank you.
To the viewers, I hope you enjoyed our show. It was such a pleasure to have Miss America's Outstanding Teen 2020, Payton May, on the show. If you would like to contact me, you can contact me at jasontimothy.robinson@gmail.com. You can also look me up on Facebook and on Instagram. And I hope you enjoyed this show, and I look forward to many, many more. Thanks very much. Bye-bye. Have a good day.